Good morning. Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining me. I'm not sure who's out there. I was going to wear my glasses today. How's the sound? How's the sound out there? Hello, hello. Checking in to see how the sound is. Mhm. Welcome. Good morning. Maybe that's when I'll make one of my projects to see how many ways I can say good morning. How many different languages can I say good morning in? Buenos dias. That's all I got right now. Good morning. It's two. Oh, buongiorno, of course, Italian. All right. So there's a couple people online right now. Can you let me know if you can hear me okay? You can write it in your little thing, or if you have my phone number, you can text me. I've also noticed I've lost my ability to whistle lately. All right, I'm going to get started. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you can hear okay. We're going to move today just a little bit, and after our movement together, if you could please try and stay for Shavasana. I've noticed that with a lot of the online classes, we all have a tendency, but personally, I noticed that I have this tendency to be like, okay, I did that. Now I'm going to get up and what are we doing, right? Be with your Shavasana, be in your space, be where you are. I think that is one of the things that we're struggling with the most as humans right now is being where we are. So try and stay for Shavasana, a little treat. And afterwards, when you finish with your Shavasana, if you could sit up quietly with your eyes closed or with a soft gaze, and we'll sit for another 60 to 120 seconds for some quiet stillness before you head out into the rest of your living space for your day. Because I hope that no matter where you are listening, that you are trying to stay in as much as possible. And also over the next few weeks, I'll be sending out blog posts that have maybe some ideas for you to work on things or to help you get through your self-imposed shelter in place, because a lot of the countries that should be doing this right now aren't sheltering in place, but we can make the choice to do that ourselves. And I think also when we make the choice ourselves, it makes it a little bit easier to swallow, right? So that's my public service message. I've got a few people online now. If you can hear me okay, please leave a little note or a text message on my phone. It would be great. Last note of interest, if you do contribute to these classes in a voluntary way, paying as much or as little as you like, you can do it through my Venmo. It's at Soul Yoga. SOULEYOGA, Soul Yoga. The last four digits of my phone number, 4393. You can email me for that. And anything you can manage at this time. I know it's not easy for any of us, but anything you can manage, and that will give you access to these unlisted videos for as long as you like. I do hope that you won't need access to them for in perpetuity, that you will be able to join me live for yoga in person eventually. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey, Nikki. Oh my God, you're joining me from there. Awesome. All right, let's get started. Thanks for joining me. Come onto your hands and knees, please. Get your wrists just underneath your shoulders and your knees just underneath your hips. Walk your hands now a little bit forward, maybe half of a handprint forward, and walk your knees just about an inch back. And an inch is pretty small. So start with this kind of trapezoidal position and take a deep breath in. Curl your toes under. Hey, Danielle, good morning. And as you exhale, round your spine, take the tops of your feet to the mat, draw your chin in towards your chest. So take a couple of breaths like that. First inhale, curl your toes under, arch your back, gaze slightly forward and up. And exhale, take the tops of your feet to the mat, round your spine, chin comes in toward your chest. Now, with your eyes open, if that's how you are this morning in your practice, with your eyes open, you might notice some things in your apartment. Keep moving like this. Exhale, round, like a dust bunny or some clutter, something that you could work on, right? But I ask you for the next 25, 30 minutes or so to let those things go, because you've carved out this time. Exhale, round. Now send your seat back towards your heels, moving towards a child's pose position. On your inhale, come forward, curl the toes under. Now shoulders are going to go over wrists. Lift your knees, come into plank pose. So that's the movement now. Exhale, knees drop down, uncurl the toes, round the back gently, especially in the lower spine. Move your seat towards your heels for child's pose. On your breath in, curl the toes under, move the shoulders over the wrists, lift your knees, plank pose. 2 more times like that. Exhale, slight rounding in the lower back as you send your seat back towards your heels for child's pose, extended child's pose. On your inhale, come forward, curl the toes, take the shoulders over the wrists, lift your knees, plank pose. Last one like that. The exhale takes you back. So you've carved this time out, so make it your time. The inhale takes you forward for plank pose. Good. Full breath here in plank pose. On your exhale, let's lift the hips and come into downward facing dog. So remember, your downward facing dog might look a lot different than what you see me doing and what you see other people doing on other various photos and platforms. So make this yours. Look forward between your hands. Feel your index fingers pointed forward, your thumbs and fingers gently spread. Look behind you now. Lift your heels wide up over the widest part of your feet. Bend your knees slightly. Now push into the mat. Let your torso move towards your thighs, towards your upper thighs. Good. Now pay attention to your low back as you slowly let your heels sink. Right? And as soon as the low back or the tailbone, the low back seems to round or the tailbone seems to sink down, rebend the knees and recreate that gentle curve in the lumbar spine. So you'd like to maintain that curve. Breathe in here. On your exhale, take your knees down to the mat. Send your seat back towards your heels for extended child's pose. One last time here for this series. On your inhale, come forward to hands and knees. As you exhale, curl the toes, this time moving back again to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, look forward between your hands. As you exhale, walk your feet slowly. So take as many little steps as you can. Take like one of your feet distances forward. Bend your knees as you walk up to the front of your mat, just behind your hands. And then close your eyes or let your gaze be really soft. Grab hold of opposite elbows with either hands, coming into ragdoll. You're folded over your legs, and grabbing hold of the elbows gives a little bit of more weight so we can get a little more traction through the spine. Let your head nod forward and back, and turn it left and right. Nice and easy. Keep the knees bent, please. Still warming up. And then slowly release your hands towards the floor. Bend your knees even more now and roll yourself up to stand. Let your head come up last. Let your head come up last. Good. Breathing in at the top of your mat. Breathing in, lift your arms up, framing your head. On your exhale, spread your arms wide as you fold forward over your legs. Again, bend to knees, please. Inhale, lift your spine, lengthen. As you exhale, bend your knees, hands touch the mat, step your right foot back. Good. Inhale here in the low lunge position. Now, notice if you're rounding your back, trying to keep that front foot forward. Let's see if you can lengthen. And here's a little pro tip if you like. You can use a block, right, to give a little bit of more space for your between your torso and your thigh. If you don't have blocks, grab some books, right? You can always use a book. Breathe in here, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, take your right foot back to meet the left foot in plank pose. Sorry, that's the left foot. Breathe in here, plank pose. As you exhale, lower your knees. And then let's take the chest and chin towards the mat. Point your toes behind you. Inhale, lift your chest, neck, and head for cobra pose. As you exhale, lower your forehead to the floor. Curl your toes under. Inhale either to hands and knees or plank pose. And exhale back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg back up into the air. As you exhale, step it forward. Help it if you need to get that right ankle just beneath your knee. On your next inhale, step the left foot up to meet the right. Lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, long spine. Circle your arms around and up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, we're going to fold right back over the legs. Palms can touch, drawing a line through your through your center. On your inhale, come halfway up, lift your chest. As you exhale, let's step the left foot back this time, coming into low lunge position. Grab your book or your block and pause here. Now, notice if the upper chest is rounding. See if you can lengthen that, create a little more back bend in your upper chest. Keep the back leg, keep that left thigh nice and strong, and the heel lifted over the widest part of your foot. Breathe in. Next, exhale, step the right foot back to meet the left foot in plank pose. Full breath in plank pose. Exhale, lower the knees. This time, lower halfway down. Elbows go straight back, supported chaturanga. Inhale, lift. This time, push into your mat. Lift your thighs off the mat, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. You got this. Good. Next, inhale, lift the left leg into the air, high up in the air behind you. Exhale, step it forward, help it if you need to. Ankle comes beneath the knee. Next, inhale, step into that left foot. Bring the right foot to meet it. Lift halfway with your torso. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale with a long spine. Circle your arms around and all the way up. I think Bettina is here with us today. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Hi, Bettina. Inhale, sweep your arms around and up. We have an international community together for yoga. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Breathe in, lift halfway up. Come halfway up with your chest. Exhale, step your right foot and then your left foot back for plank pose. Full breath here in plank pose. Exhale with or without the knees this time, halfway down. Inhale, lift for your back bend. Breathing in, exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Notice if you're trying to sink those heels a little bit too fiercely towards the floor. Let them lift so you can keep the curve in the low back. Keep that natural curve so we're not straining that back. Breathe in, look forward between your hands. Rise to the balls of your feet. Keep your hips high and bend your knees as you exhale. So full breath in here. And now the bottom of your next exhale, walk, step, or hop your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift the torso halfway. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale with a long spine. Reach your arms around and up. Press down through your feet. We're going to fold right back over the legs. Fold over your legs on your exhale. Inhale, come halfway up. Lift your chest. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step your left foot and then your right foot back for plank pose. Full breath here in plank pose. Exhale, again, lower half or all the way down. If you lower halfway down, you lift into upward facing dog. If you went all the way to your mat, take cobra pose. Your exhale takes you back to downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Good, inhale. And exhale, really pushing into all the way down into the very tips of your fingers, into the fingerprints, as my dear friend Chris Temple says. And rounding the upper arms back towards, circling them back towards the back end of your mat. So externally rotating the upper arms. Lift through the center of your armpits. So create a little suction cup action there at the center of your armpits. Nice, full breath in. Lift up onto the balls of the feet. Bend your knees. As you exhale, walk, step, or hop your feet to the front of your mat. Breathe right into half forward fold. And exhale, fold over your legs. Okay, next inhale, I'd like you to lift up and sit back into Utkatasana, fierce pose. Everyone's favorite. Full breath in. On your exhale, take your hands to your heart and sit a little lower. So students in my open classes here in New York City, when it starts getting colder, they know to expect a few more of these postures because I'm getting ready for ski season with my soulmate. This happens to be his favorite posture because he simply dreams he's on a ski slope. Breathe in here. On your exhale, sit a little lower. That's it. Some of us have never been on the ski slope, so that's not quite the dream. It's just a really fierce pose. Keep breathing in here. Lift up through the fingertips. Sit back into your sit bones. One more breath in. You've got this. Now on your exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, step your right foot back. This time I'd like you to rotate your right heel down to your mat. Line up your left heel with the back, the right heel or arch. And then circle your right arm forward, up, and back, coming into Virabhadrasana 2. Nice. So that left ankle is stacked over don't stack your ankle over your knee. The left knee is stacked over your ankle. Your back leg, the outer edge of that foot is pressing into the mat. Lift a little bit through the inner edge of that foot, through your arch. Your arms extend away from you, right? Now, take a little peek down at your left knee. Notice if it's tracking in the same direction as the toes. If your hips are tight, there's a tendency for that knee to drift in towards the midline. So if your hips are feeling tight, roll your right hip forward slightly so that your left knee now tracks in the same direction as your toes. And then re-extend your arms away from you. And I'd like you to flex your wrists, pressing the palms away. Good. Breathe in here. Stay as you exhale. Good. Next inhale, extend the wrist. Turn your left palm up, reach back and over, reverse. And as you exhale, take your left forearm to the thigh and reach your right arm up alongside your ear. Full breath in here. Try to extend the left side waist. Stay as you exhale. Try to squeeze the navel around toward your right. One more breath in. And on your exhale now, we'll take both hands to the inside of that left foot so you can heel toe the left foot a little bit wide. Lift your right heel. Full breath in here. Now lift your hips up as you straighten your left knee and fold. And moving on the breath like that. Inhale, come forward to high lizard. And exhale, float the hips, straighten the front knee. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Good, next inhale, come back to your high lizard. As you exhale, step your feet back together behind you. Right, now move that right hand slightly forward, rotate to the outside of your right foot, lift your left arm into the air for side plank, Vasisthasana. Breathe in, stay as you exhale. Maybe take a variation, lifting that left foot off of the right. Maybe bend that left knee, step it behind you, and reach the left arm forward, flipping your plank pose. Breathe in here. Lift the hips, stay as you exhale. Next inhale. And exhale, take that left hand back to the floor for plank pose. Full breath in plank pose. Exhale, lower half or all the way down. Inhale, lift into your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Moving on your breath. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet. Look forward. At the bottom of your exhale, walk, step, or hop your feet to the front. Inhale, come halfway up. Lift your chest. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale with a big, long spine. Lift up and sit back. Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Uttanasana, that forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Moving to the other side as you exhale, step your left foot back. Good. So you're starting low lunge. Rotate your left heel down to the mat, lining up that back heel or arch with the front heel before circling the left arm forward, up, and back, like a reverse cartwheel into Virabhadrasana 2. Now, on either side, our hips can be tighter or more open. So make those adjustments. Notice if you need to roll the back hip forward to adjust for tightness, and let that right knee track in the same direction as your toes. Inhale, extend the arms away from each other. Flex at the wrists. Push away. Nice. And breathe. Steady your breath. Even close your eyes if that's helpful. Good. Turn your right palm up. Inhale, reach back and over. Reverse. As you exhale, take your right forearm to your thigh. Extend your left arm forward alongside your ear in side angle posture. So you're still sealing the outer edge of that left foot into the mat. Take a look at your right knee. See that it's tracking over the ankle. And you're squeezing your navel a little around towards the left on the exhales. One more breath in and out. Inhale here. And as you exhale, take your hands down to the inside of that right foot. Heel toe the right foot out towards the side. The left heel has lifted in the back. Breathe in here. Lengthen your spine. Exhale. Lift your hips as you straighten your right knee, folding. 2 more times like that. Inhale. Moving forward to this high lizard. Exhale. Float the hips. One more time, inhale, and exhale. Good, now we're doing side plank on the left side. So hands stay where they are. Step your right foot back to meet the left. Move that left hand slightly forward, the wrist in front of the shoulder. Before rolling to the outside of your left foot, lift your right arm into the air. Really great. Notice if the hips are stacked. So sometimes we have a tendency for that top hip to roll back. So bring it forward and breathe in here. Maybe lift the right leg away from the left. Bend the knee. Step it behind you. Reach forward with the right arm. Feel the chest lift. Push into that right foot. Feel the hips lift. One more breath in here. You've got this. And then exhale, slowly roll back to plank pose. Of course, if you didn't have that and you fell, I hope you laughed. Breathe in here. On your exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, lift into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in and out here. So I'd like you to stay in downward facing dog as you recover your breath, your heart rate. And then slowly bring your knees down to your mat. Send your seat back towards your heels. This time, take your arms beside you. Palms can face up near your feet. Forehead is in the mat. And let your arms get really soft. Let your shoulders round towards the floor. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue. Good. Now slowly, I'd like you to walk your hands forward, take your gaze forward. Come up to hands and knees. And let's roll over onto our backs, please. Once you come onto your back, you're sitting upright. So if you lay down, you're almost there. Go ahead and sit back up. So you've got your feet on the floor, sitting on that nice bum. Take your hands right at the tops of your knees there and squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your sternum, lift your rib cage, lift your gaze, even your chin a little bit. Breathe in here. And on your exhale, squeeze your navel towards your spine. Rock back slightly so you can let your shins lift to be parallel with the floor. The feet are gently flexed. So not too much effort in the feet. The effort's coming from your core. You can stay here or take the hands behind the thighs. You can stay here or if you like, extend at your knees, right? And breathe. Keep lifting the collarbones. See if you can spread the collarbones. And you can stay here or reach the hands forward towards the feet, right? And if you're like me, you've given up any sort of pedicure. Take a full breath in. Keep your toenails filed though. Your friends and loved ones that you're living with will appreciate it. Inhale. Stay as you exhale, smile. Good. I hope you're laughing a little bit. And the next time you exhale, slowly lower the knees down. Take your hands onto the kneecaps again. Breathe in. Lift the chest. And as you exhale, round the spine, chin towards the chest. Squeeze your navel back. Inhale again. Lift the chest. Lift the gaze. Exhale, round. Good. And this time, we'll do that once more, but this time when we exhale, let's lower all the way down to the floor, reaching your arms forward. Keep the feet on the mat. Now walk your feet back towards your buttocks. Heels are close enough that your longest finger might graze the back of your heel. Push into your elbows. Point your fingertips towards the ceiling. So bent elbows, fingertips pointing towards the ceiling. Your upper arms are on the floor next to your rib cage. Push into a little more, lifting the upper chest and squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. Then take your hands below, interlace the fingers. Might bring the arms a little bit closer in. You're in bridge pose, and breathe. Now slowly lift the heels, release your hands, lower your hips down, lower your heels. Pause for a moment, and now hug your knees in towards your chest. Then slowly lower your feet down to your mat and walk them right and left. So your right foot goes to the right long edge of your mat, left foot goes to the left long edge. Let your knees fall towards each other first. This is an option called structured rest for Shavasana for some of us who have a little low back pain when we're lying flat on a hard surface. Okay, and before we go into the full rest, let both of your knees fall over towards the left. Your navel is moving around and over towards the right. Your feet started out wide, and if so, then you'd like to take that left foot and drape it on top of the right thigh. Let your head fall around over towards your right. Slowly uncross the left ankle from the right thigh. Bring your knees back to center. Pause in the middle, please. Maybe taking your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. And let your head turn over towards your left. And remember to let the little things in the apartment that you might pick up on through your gaze fall away. And if it's too difficult to let yourself do that right now, close your eyes. A little tip here. This series, this practice is really great to do again during the day, especially. Bring your knees back to center, please. Hug your knees in towards your chest. It's really great, especially if you are sitting at your desk a lot these days and forgetting to get up. You know, we're in an office setting or when we travel for work, we have a tendency to sit a lot, but we do get up more than we realize. So doing this another time during the day, it's got a few hip openers. It's helpful for that area of the body. the hip flexors, adductors, abductors, and the psoas. Full breath in here. And on your exhale, go ahead, straighten the legs out about mat distances apart. Give a little push into your elbows, maybe to bring the shoulder blades a little more flat on the floor. And relax the tops of your shoulders. You'll be here for a moment, and you have the time to be here. So please take the time to be here. Relax your tongue and your jaw. Take one of those nice, satisfying sighs. Stay with your breath. Relax your tongue. But on your next breath in, take a big stretch up, overhead, through the soles of your feet. As you exhale, squeeze your knees in towards your chest. And then rock yourself up to sit with your eyes closed or with a soft gaze. And sit comfortably. It doesn't have collarbones meet. So that little bump bone is resting in the palm of your right hand. Take your left hand and place it over your navel. Let your eyes close or your gaze drop softly towards the floor, whichever is more soothing for your nervous system. And then take 3 breaths in this position. And see how many sensations you can bring your awareness to. Good. Keeping the eyes closed or your gaze soft. Lower your hands down, palms down to your thighs or your knees. Let your tongue rest in the base of your mouth. Notice if you feel like you're leaning forward or back in your seat. Find that space in the middle. Effortless in your breath, in your steadiness. few more seconds. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, the sound of all sounds. Shanti, peace. Peace for yourself, peace for others, and peace for the forces of the universe. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And if you're available, I'll see you on Thursday, 6:35 for meditation, 7:35 for this class. Have a fantastic day. Namaste.